Dow Jones Industry Average has reached another record high for the first time since the start of pandemic. That's because of the hopes that have been built for the vaccines. Moderna yesterday announced that its COVID-19 vaccine appears to be 94.5% effective, according to its preliminary data. Last week, Pfizer and its partner, BioNTech, have announced that their vaccines is also effective, above 90% in preventing COVID-19 symptomatic cases. Today, the CEO said that they're preparing for submission to FDA, although he did not specify when it expects to file for an emergency use authorization. He also said that they don't really know how durable the protection could be. That means they don't really know how long the antibodies generated by these vaccines will be in your blood and other immune system to protect you. Some vaccines can protect you from the diseases for 5 to 10 years, whereas others for a shorter amount of time. Currently, they have been accumulating safety data on volunteers who have received 2 full doses of their vaccines a while ago. It says that in the race to the finish line, Pfizer and BioNTech vaccine is slightly ahead of the one from the Moderna, which expect to get the safety data it needs by the end of the month, allowing it to file for emergency clearance in the coming weeks. So with these good news, what stocks are currently safer mid to long-term investments? I personally don't like short-term investments. So let's talk about mid to long-term investments. By the way, smash that like button and destroy the subscribe button for YouTube algorithm. I think Air Canada stock is a good investment right now because I think its stock price will go back to $50 within 2 to 5 years, which I think is the time period when we will go back to the old norms before the pandemic. I did not do a detailed SARF analysis like an equity analyst would do, but based on what I know, Air Canada could be a good investment. That's because Air Canada is the national flag carrier for Canada and is backed by the government. So the company should never fall as long as the Canadian government is strong. Its net income is close to $1.5 billion in 2019. Air Canada did quite well in the past decade until the start of pandemic this year. Under the current CEO, who is going to retire February next year, and his successor is still unclear. That's a bad news for the company. With that said, the management team, the directions, and the processes that the current CEO has put in place will still be effective. As long as it finds a decent successor, the company should at least be profitable once the pandemic is over. The pandemic should be over within 2 to 5 years. That's why I think the stock price will go back to $50 within 2 to 5 years, which was the stock price before COVID-19 this year. Air Canada recently have managed to decrease its daily losses from 90 million to 9 million. This drove the stock price up from $50 to current price of $20. In the next 2 to 5 years, I think it will go back to $50. And it will be 150% increase from the current price. That will be a great investment. So why 2 to 5 years, even though the vaccines are almost available? Before me answering that question, please smash that like button and destroy the subscribe button for YouTube algorithm. That way I can produce more interesting videos for you. Thank you very much. So why 2 to 5 years, even though the vaccines are almost available? Although there are many vaccines at the last stage of their clinical trials, they are still very far from mass production. Even though the mass production is cheap, it's still very far away from getting everyone who needs protected. So I think optimistically, it will take 2 years, and pessimistically, 5 years. When everyone gets vaccine and become immune to the virus, that's the time airline industry and other industries that needs their customers to be physically in a small space come back to operation at full capacity. Until then, their stock won't perform well. Therefore, buy Air Canada stock now if you are a mid to long-term investor. I bought some when it was $15 and sold at $20 to buy back at a lower price later. That way, I might be able to compound faster. Thanks for watching. If you are interested in personal finance, please subscribe to my channel. I will talk more about it in my future videos. Thanks for watching. See you next time.